Welcome back. Less than 3 weeks now till Christmas, but Santa already making the rounds. Take a look here. You can see jolly old Nick surprising some elementary school kids by stopping into the Roosevelt Field Mall in Garden City recently to collect gifts that they donated for Toys for Tots. As Santa watched it all being loaded onto his sleigh, he told us it proves these youngsters are definitely nice, not naughty.
They're showing me how good they are, and because of that, I'm going to have Mrs. Claus work a little harder to make a little more presents.
But what about Santa's helpers? Take a look. There they are in their proud uniforms. Yes, as they do every year, volunteers from the U.S. Marines are helping to gather these toys for tots so we can spread the Christmas joy. Well, joining us now are two more of Santa's helpers from the Marines Toys for Tots program. Major Chuck Kilbride, he's the organization's chairman, and co-chairman Joseph Cinque.
Thank you.
Nice to have you gentlemen on the show. Major Kilbride, as we could see, you're a former Marine. What got you into becoming one of Santa's helpers with Toys for Tots?
Well, it started, I retired from the Marine Corps after 27 years, and wherever Marines are stationed, you collect toys, and we've been doing it since 1947.
Wow, that's almost 70 years.
That's right. Joey's probably been at one of the first events. I wasn't.
Mr. Cinque, give you away there. He's a young 70-something. But, yeah, Mr. Cinque, now tell us about what you do, because you're a little bit more behind the scenes with all this, working with the corporations, trying to get support for it and to gather these toys. What do you do?
Well, Richard, I'm the president of the American Academy of Hospitality Sciences, which is worldwide. And we represent the 5- and 6-star Diamond Award, which is given to hotels, airlines, cruise ships, countries, heads of state, and today became the highest accolade. And I've been involved with Toys for Tots, and it's a great honor to be part of our Marines and contribute and pay back. That's what it's about.
Hey, everybody loves the toys from Tots, from the Tots on up. Now, how's the campaign going this year? We have up and down economic situations, and that can affect people sometimes. But how's it going for you?
Well, people are still reaching deep and coming up with gifts, and they want to always. This is a special holiday, and they want to remember it. So they get out there and get involved, and it's a great thing that they don't lose that determination, that it keeps going on. I think it gets better and better.
Well, I think what you're talking about is New Yorkers are the most caring, sharing people in the country. But with the economy being what it is, it's tougher and tougher. We started this year a little early, and we had a kickoff celebration, and then we went over and did the kickoff at Roosevelt Field in Garden City, New York. Roosevelt Field, the Simon Group Mall, are so generous of their time, their personnel, their supplies. They always are there to make it work for us, along with Stewart Avenue and Stratford Elementary Schools this year. Every year they donate about 400 or 500 toys. The teachers in Garden City, New York, teach the kids to give back to the community. They have a little bit more.
That was an impressive haul there. I told Sandy you're going to need the reindeer here, because look what these kids brought in.
Right. That was very huge. But as I mentioned before, and I think as everyone saw at Roosevelt Field, the Fire Chief Ray McGuire shows up. They represent the Firefighters Association, 114 fire departments, Steve Cassidy, Jimmy Slevin from FDNY. Everybody makes it work for us. And we wouldn't be able to do it without the fire and police.
True.
Jimmy Carver and Patrick Lynch and Noel Geloramo from the
They help you gather the toys too.
They make it work for us. Recently we lost one of our big supporters, a co-chairman, the president of the Bar Association in Nassau County, Mr. Steve Eisman. His generosity and benevolence, along with Joe Cinque and people like that, because we'd never be able to get it done. Robert Trump just wrote a big check to us yesterday, and things are looking really, really good. And as I say, we wouldn't be able to do it without all the support of the post office, the fire department. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting the help from the post office.
Excuse me, what do you mean the post office is not doing this anymore?
Post office for over 20 years has been right there, shoulder to shoulder with the United States Marine Corps. You go into any postmaster's office and you'll see plaques from the Marine Corps Toys for Tots thanking them for their generosity and benevolence. The post office makes it work. I don't know why. I really don't know the answer, but I do know that I miss them.
What do you, because they would gather them at the post office, or sometimes the postal workers would pick them up too.
Postal workers gather them and help distribute them. The post office, I've been around the world, and Rich, and I got to tell you, our post office is the best post office operation in the world.
Well, the carriers want to do it, but it must be a budget situation because they're
really
billions in debt.
I really don't know, sir. I don't know
been
that.
Told?
And I just know that we're going to miss them because they're a big part of. There's a lot of people that are not plugged into the system. And the postal workers, they made it work for us.
Now, Mr. Cinque, obviously corporate sponsors are involved, but tell us where the toys come from. Give me the wide range of where you gather these
Different organizations. This year I got this gentleman, Anthony Scaramucci from Skybridge involved. It's everybody deep down. Even Trump gets involved, Donald, and with all the things he's doing. He loves being part of it. I mean, it's just unbelievable. All the hotels worldwide, I let the message out there, and they contribute. And fine dining, they all help out.
And of course, we've often seen boxes left out at various places where I know in the past I've donated the toys, and you'll still have that sort of thing, right?
Sure. Well, we work very close with all the chambers of commerce, and you know, in the counties, there's approximately 60 to 70 chambers of commerce and merchant associations. In Nassau County, we have 55 American Legion, 45 VFWs. The veterans are very supportive. We have 69 incorporated villages that support Toys for Tots.
So you got a wide effort there, a lot of support. You know, one of the things I noticed from one of the kids telling me, he said that, you know, I figured I'd give a needy kid something I wanted for Christmas, which was really noble. But then I also got to thinking, I wonder if the toys and the gifts that are donated have changed through the years. You know, we have all the electronics now. Have you noticed any change, you gentlemen, in the kind of toys that show up in there?
I think they got a lot more expensive.
Sophisticated.
You know, a lot more expensive, you know. You know, we went, years ago, we went to Nassau University Medical Center in East Meadow, New York, and I went there with a Marine by the name of Staff Sergeant Alexander M. Ortega, and he's the first time doing a Comrel, community relations event, and he said to me, he goes, you know, I can't do this because we were going to give a toy to a little girl who they told us had leukemia and probably had six weeks to live. And he said, I can't do this. And I said, hey, look, just put a smile on the girl's face. In our business, don't get too close, let's go. The irony of the story is a few years ago, that little girl came up to me, the wonders of medical science, and she's very much alive. The irony, though, the first Marine killed in Beirut, Lebanon, was Staff Sergeant Ortega 9 months later. So you never know where you're going to be. You look around, who might not be here next year.
That's true.
Right? And what you want to do is do all that you can to help people put a smile on their face.
Well, I think you're going to see that as always, because people are generous. As you said, New Yorkers are always top of the ranks when it comes to that. Right. And you know, a lot of our viewers are going to want to join in. So when you see the Toys for Tots, you know what to do. You're going to make some needy kids happy. We want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming in today. Major Chuck Kilbride, who's the chairman of Toys for Tots and a former U.S. Marine.
Retired.
And what's that?
Retired.
Retired, but I think former.
Still active.
Don't mess with the Marines.
Still active.
And Joseph Cinque, who's the co-chairman. We want to thank you guys for helping to spread the season's tidings.